Are we ready? Let's open this meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For those of you on the phone who are watching, streaming it, could you turn the volume down on your streaming, please? Or mute your phone.
All right, number 2, open public forum. Anybody interested that is not on the agenda that wishes to speak? Otherwise, we're going to move on to number 3. Before we start, we are going to do roll call voting on the whole night. So I need a motion on approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Shannon makes a motion. I need a second.
I'm not sure about the rest, but I can't hear really anything that's going on.
Can everyone call in on their cell phones?
Yeah, Bridget,
Yeah?
I'm getting every third or fourth word also.
Okay.
I'm not hearing anything from you guys.
Well, he's not going to hear us then if he...
Yeah.
He's going to have to call
He
in
can...
again.
Let's see. Why don't you guys call in? I'll put it.
What are we calling this number?
Is the line busy because of all the... Well, that's weird.
He's busy.
Speak into the speaker again.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
I hear you. Just barely.
The wireless customer you called is not available at this time. Please try your call again later. Announcement 1. The wireless customer you called is not available at
That
this
line is... overbooked. Okay, so why don't you two speak into your...
Yep.
Speaking.
For those of you... Gary, are you there?
Yep.
Okay, you can hear me?
Just barely.
How about now?
A little bit better, but not much. Oh, Brian, can you hear anything? Just a little bit better. She was just a fraction better, but still very, very quiet. Yeah.
Hi, are you there?
I can understand you pretty well.
Cyril can understand you pretty well.
All right. The speaker is right here. Okay. Doug, can you hear us?
I'm hearing you now.
I can barely hear you.
Because they're all...
Our meeting was, we was trained in the computer, and we were on our phones. The phones were a lot better than the computer, and that was our meeting.
Yeah, see if you can keep calling in. The line is busy right now. But those of us with microphones, can you hear us now?
Can
you hear me?
John?
Or me.
Shannon's shoes on.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
You're cutting in now.
Cyril or John, can you hear me?
Anybody? Hello? Crickets?
Doug, can you hear everybody?
I hear you, and that's it.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Keep using the microphone. See. Ask Gary. How about one of you call Gary? Do one of you have Gary's number? John and Cyril, can you stream it? Can you hear me, John?
Ask Gary to hang up so that John can call.
Gary.
Brendan, Stevie's trying to call me.
Yeah, have him call, answer that and get off this line, and we'll put you on the microphones here so we can hear you here. Does that make sense?
Hey Gary,
Put him on speaker.
so I'm just gonna call you and you can just listen through the phone this way.
Oh, okay.
I could put his by the speaker because Doug, can you hear now with my phone over there? Doug?
Doug, are you paying attention?
Doug? Doug, are you there? Dave talking. Dave's talking into the microphone. I have you next to the speaker.
Doug, can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Okay, we'll put Gary over there too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Okay, Gary, can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Okay. John and Searle.
I could pretty much, Cheryl here, I pretty much make those tonight, not just the first one,
Okay,
so I understand.
okay.
All right.
Well, let's let's see how we can do this, if we can get this going. I had a motion on the agenda. I need a second.
This is Gary, I'll second it.
Gary seconds it. Any discussion on the agenda? Otherwise, we are going to do a roll call. Shannon, are you a yes or no? Yes. Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yeah.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries. We'll go on to the consent agenda. Recommendation to approve consent agenda as presented. I need a motion on that.
Gary here, I'll make a motion.
Gary makes a motion. How about a second?
I'll second it.
Doug seconds it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, Shannon, yes or no? Gary, yes or no?
Yes.
Doug?
Yeah.
And Dave is a yes. Motion carries. Okay, number 5, joint resolution for annexation of the DM Dingman farm property. Do you,
Well, sure. As you know, the development is underway. Various steps are being taken to annex some DM Digman farm property along County Road 2, and we've been in discussions with Wakefield Township. When they submitted their comments for the EAW, they were concerned about the field access onto 248th and asked that it be removed, which the developer has said they will remove. And then we've been talking about the joint annexation, and we were sending things back and forth, and at their last meeting, they approved a version you have in your packet that was their recommendations. It was their proposal, and now it's in front of you on whether to vote on their version. I also gave you the version I sent them originally that stated that there'd be no road agreement until an approach onto 248th was requested, and then we would discuss a road agreement. And so I guess it's up to you to decide which one I have them both on there to talk about. You could do either, or you could do neither. I did, when I got theirs, to keep the project moving, I did submit a public notice for a different option for annexation, which we don't normally do, which is annexation by ordinance, which allows the city to annex abutting property under 120 acres that's petitioned by 100% landowners, which we have. We met those 3 things. So that's an option in May. Another option is not to do anything and meet with them or discuss with them. city attorney is here, we discussed the fact that without access, there'd be no burden to that road from a city parcel. So a 50-50 split, in my opinion, doesn't seem appropriate at this point. The road will be platted. The south 33 feet will be platted and dedicated to the public, but it won't have any city access. So really numbers 5 and 6 are kind of tied together on the agenda. So I don't know, that's your option. Sue's here to answer any questions too if you have any. Yeah?
On the person that you sent the township before the township meeting, that is the person that has no access to that township road, right? They'd be actually going in and out of city streets from the business park, right?
Correct. They will have access from Crays Mill Road in the business park, and they will have an access to County Road 2 from their parcel. Right now it has 3 field accesses, and they're letting them keep one as a access to the building off County Road 2.
So from that property, there will be another access on the two besides the one coming out of the business park.
Yes.
The business park access is 11th, and Crays connects to 11th, so that's how they can get to the existing business park. But there will be, yes, one additional access from the parcel to County Road 2, about halfway up, maybe 2/3 of the way up.
Okay, sounds good. That's the only question I had.
Okay, so where do you guys want to go from here? My personal opinion, I think we should sit down and instead of voting for something that they put in there without negotiations, I think we should at least sit down and negotiate with them. That's my opinion. I don't know what you guys think.
The annexation of that tract of land.
Zero.
That would go to about the middle of March 40.
Cyril, the annexation is the property owner owns to the middle of the road. So yes, for annexation, it's the middle of the road. But then for platting, the center, from the center line, 33 feet south is being dedicated to the public. But I don't know if that actually conveys road authority to the city just because it's platted. It's similar to when you have plats in township, but you don't put a road in yet. Only this one, you have a road.
Gary, did you have something?
Well, I just wanted to clarify, the petitioner will not have any access to 248th Street, is that correct?
Correct.
Well, then my recommendation would be if the brewery is not going to be using that road at all, if no one from the city is going to be using it as a business, it doesn't make much sense to me that the city should become responsible for half a road that nobody from the city businesses will be using.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, go ahead, Doug.
One clarification, so if we sit down and negotiate that, does that follow the project timeline on the wax?
Well, we can actually pass this with something that states that we are going to negotiate in a certain time frame too yet. You know what I'm saying?
The
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I mean, so, if the negotiations that we get settled in one meeting, when is the time frame that starts putting this project in limbo?
We
If you-
can actually pass Doug, we can actually pass this annexation and have further discussions on just the road agreement later. We could have the annexation without a road agreement in it. So it's annexed and then have the negotiations later, is what I would like.
Another way to do it is to allow the annexation by ordinance, which would be May 12th, which is still within the timeline for the project, as long as the governor doesn't keep the state closed a whole lot more past the 13th. It should be, the annexation by ordinance, I would just notify the state the day after on the 13th, and it takes them about 10 days to officially approve it. And so they're looking at the beginning of June for construction, so that would keep everything in line for the project, and then give you time to sit down and talk to the township about a road agreement at some other point.
Cyril, Doug's talking right now. Doug, can you repeat what you said, Doug?
Okay, so the agreement for the agreement that you sent to township, did that have the orderly annexation in there, or was that just agreement for annexation without the orderly annexation part in it?
The one I sent last said that the city would not, let me find the version. Where is it? What I proposed was, prior to approving any access from the annexed property onto 248th Street, the city of Cold Spring will enter into a mutually agreeable road agreement with Wakefield Township with regard to maintenance responsibility for that portion of 248th Street that abuts the property. So it was an acknowledgement of a potential need for a road agreement, but not an immediate need for a road agreement. So that's the one, that's the version that's listed as A on the agenda.
5A.
I can understand you well, but whoever else is speaking, I do not understand at all.
Okay, Cyril, we're hoping that this will work better.
Yes, go ahead, Doug.
Bring another question. So if we go with A, for instance, we go with A, does the orderly annexation part that you sent off, is that still in place?
I don't think so, because I sent that to them and then they voted on their own version, but I don't know because they recessed their meeting, so perhaps it could be they are going to recess, they're going to reconvene tomorrow after our decision here. I'm going to notify their clerk before I leave tonight what you decide so they can take what cause of action they want to take. So if you passed our version and they passed their version, it kind of would require some sort of agreement. And we have time because their meeting in May is on the 7th and your meeting is the 12th.
Right, but that would still be orderly, that would be orderly annexation on that one, right?
I'm sorry, Councilmember Schmitz, what did you say?
I said, so then if they don't agree to ours and we don't agree with theirs, then we're back to the orderly annexation, but now then that have to start, so maybe we've got to start over again, or does it get posted back to when you first notified them of that?
The notice for annexation by ordinance is still valid, and the hearing is still set. So if you pass one version, they pass one version, and no agreement is made, then you could have that public hearing on May 12th and annex by ordinance without an agreement.
Okay, that answers everything, thank you.
Okay, what do you guys want to do?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion.
Okay, make your motion then, Doug.
I'll motion that we go with Gay.
So a motion to approve 5A.
5A is the version, I second that, to approve the version that has the information and to discuss the road potentials at a later time.
It's yours on.
I think so, I don't know. I
Up.
keep,
There it is.
is it on
There,
now?
now
There you
up.
go.
It was on? Okay.
There, now it's on.
Hey, guys, I'm here.
Okay, Doug makes the motion, Shannon seconds it. Is there any other discussion on it? Now, which one are we, I want to know which one we're doing
The
now.
one I proposed that had the,
That has,
when a permit access is requested, that then we would sit down and discuss the meeting, correct, Doug?
That's correct.
okay. Is there any discussion, Doug or Gary or Shannon?
None for me.
All right,
None from Gary.
okay.
I'm
And
good.
I will call for a vote. Shannon, yes or
Yes.
no? Shannon's a yes. Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yeah.
and I'm a yes. Okay, motion carries. Number,
So 5B, I suppose it's no longer, 5B is no longer necessary for any vote. It can just be scratched, correct?
Correct.
And I would think 6 is now scratched.
Correct.
Yeah,
unless you, okay, yeah,
because there is no
True.
agreement because we're
Right.
not there yet.
okay.
Right.
Then we'll go on to number 7. Public Works Director report, John Stevie.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Hello.
I don't think you should ask that question anymore.
So the first thing on my report is the repair the precast joints at the wastewater plant. We got some bids, a company out of the cities and Wells Concrete. Wells Concrete was the low bid at $15,977. So Mr. Mayor, if you'd like to read that recommendation.
Okay. Recommendation to approve the Wells Concrete bid of $15,977 for repair of the precast joints at the wastewater building, and furthermore to be paid out of wastewater department building and ground maintenance budget line item 6411. I need, Gary makes a motion on it,
I'll second that.
and Shannon seconds it. Is there any discussion on it? Otherwise, we will vote. Shannon,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yeah.
and Dave is a yes. Motion carries.
All right, the next thing on my report is the request to rehire and hire the seasonal part-time help. Jeff Ilias at the ballpark. Nathan Dingman is going to be like a full-time, part-time kind of a replacement of Ponch. And then Maxwell Hansen, Zachary Bloom, and Cameron Miller will be our summer help for up to 32 hours a week for the summer, mowing grass and maintenance activities in the parks and everything else. And hopefully the governor's order, I mean, the grass still needs to be mowed no matter what, but
True.
there's going to be a lot of new things this year with the splash pad, a lot of tree watering. We're still working out fine details with the watering of the flowers. I'm hoping that the beautification committee or the flower committee can take care of that, but there's been some discussion and there needs to be ongoing discussion with that, but there's plenty to do in town, so.
Okay. There's going to be three different recommendations. First one, recommendation to approve rehiring of Jeff Ilias, Maxwell Hansen, Cameron Miller, and Zachary Bloom for seasonal part-time help at a rate of pay of $12 per hour. I need a motion on that.
Gary here, I'll make the motion.
Gary makes a motion. How about a second?
Doug, I'll second it.
All right, Doug seconds it.
I'll abstain from that.
What's that?
I'd like to abstain from that vote.
Okay.
Shannon would like to abstain, please.
Shannon abstains. Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and Dave is a yes. Motion carries. Was Nathan Dingman with that part of that? Because I have it here.
He was,
C higher. Oh, okay. That's forget it. That's C.
Yep.
Okay. Should I just go right down to recommendations now?
That sounds good to me, Mr.
All right,
Mayor.
here we go. Recommendation to approve the hiring of Nathan Dingman as a part-time streets and park employee at a rate of $16.61 an hour. I need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion.
Shannon makes a motion. How about a second? Gary seconds it. Any discussion? Otherwise, Shannon,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries. Okay, the next recommendation to appoint Pete Weber as a street department supervisor effective May 1st, 2020, and furthermore to be paid at a rate of $29.74 an hour, which is Group 8, Step 9. I need a motion on
Well,
that.
I'd like to do a little discussion on that first, if I could.
Okay, go ahead.
So, with Ron's retirement, he's the street supervisor currently. Pete was always the interim street supervisor for Ron while he was on his medical leaves and stuff and FMLA stuff over the last couple of years. Pete's more than proven to us in the city that he can handle this position. Very good at, delegating work to the street department employees. I think he'll be a good fit for the position, and I just wanted to make that recommendation to you before you make your recommendation to hire him as that.
All right. And by the way, Pete's here right now, so
Be nice.
we can't talk about him right now.
Well, we can.
Okay. Did I get a motion in a second already?
No.
No, I need a motion on that.
This is Gary, I'll make the motion.
Gary makes the motion. How about a second?
I'll second that.
Doug, I'll second it.
For Doug.
Okay, Doug will second it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, all those Shannon,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries. Congratulations, Pete.
Thank you for your hard work.
Yes.
Congrats, Pete.
Okay,
Get back to work now, please.
then we go on to number 8, City Engineer Report. Brian Lynchen, are you
Brian's
there?
on the phone. On.
Mayor and council, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Mayor, Mike, we'll start with this, County Road 158. We got, work that started last week. We have removed some of the pavement out. We started water and sewer this week. So we're, moving right along on the project. If there's any questions on it, I can try to answer any questions on the project first.
All right, anybody got any questions for Brian on that 158 project? Doesn't sound like it.
No.
All right, then the next thing related to 158, in your packet, I included a quote for material testing on the city portion of the project, which consists of the sanitary sewer, the water main, and the service trench services. Basically, it's trench testing, compaction testing, and topsoil testing. So we received a quote from Braun Intertech. Braun is also the same company that will be doing the testing on the county portion of the project, so that there's also been continuity between both parts of the project.
right, I'll read that recommendation then. To accept the quote from Braun Intertech for material testing for the County Road 158 improvement project. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Shannon makes a motion. How about a second?
Gary will second.
Gary seconds it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, Shannon,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yeah.
and Dave is a yes. Motion carries.
All right, thank you for that. Moving on, water treatment plant, we're continuing on the design here. We're starting to get into final design. We're meeting every 2 weeks with between the city and Stantec staff to look at how the design is progressing. We're definitely moving along with it. We're hopefully soon going to have some renderings of what the building and everything will look like. So
All right.
moving along nicely.
All right. You need this recommendation read then, right?
No, that's next.
Oh, that's next. Sorry.
No, that's all right. Moving on, talking about well 8 and 9 and the various projects there. The first part of that is the well drilling. Joe's going to be out there drilling the wells here very soon. Sounds like they might have even got some equipment out there this week to drill the final well. So that's progressing. Work is progressing on the pump control overhead power roadway. We're getting started with that. And then the last part of that project is the water main. We, in order to get ahead of the planting season and putting across our field, we did that on Monday yesterday. We got good prices on it. Came in under the engineer's estimate. We had 7 bidders, so there was definitely some hunger for it. And so we've been looking to approve. That's the recommendation you have.
Yep.
The variable bidder of CNL.
Okay.
Committee of St. Joe.
Okay. I'll read that recommendation. To adopt Resolution 2020-18, a resolution accepting bids and awarding a contract for the Wells 8 and 9 water main project. I need a motion on that.
I have a question. Gary.
Gary, go ahead.
I might be missing something here, but in that recommendation, which you did not mention, the award is going to.
The resolution does mention them.
But it doesn't need to be in the recommendation then.
Right, you're recommending the resolution that has all that information.
Okay, good enough, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I still need a motion.
Mrs. Gary will make a motion.
Gary makes a motion. How about a second?
I'll second that.
Doug, I'll second it.
Doug
Doug seconds it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, Shannon,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug, and Dave is a yes. Motion carries.
All right, then the last, their work is going to get, we're going to do the pre-con about next week Tuesday, and work's going to get started shortly thereafter. They have a very short time frame, so by the time we hit June, that pipe should be in the ground and done.
Okay.
And then the last thing is just the sanitary sewer and water system improvements for the brewery. That work is was approved at the last meeting. We've got the survey. We're getting that design underway as well. So not a lot to report on it yet.
All right. That's it?
That's all I have.
All right. Anybody got questions for Brian?
No.
All right. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Okay, then we'll go on to number 9, Police Department report. Chief Bloom.
Is my mic on?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, go back.
Back?
That way.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? All right. Start off with just some numbers for March. In Cold Spring, we had 237 total incidents, 19 medicals, 3 suspicious activities, 70 traffic stops with 14 citations, and then 145 miscellaneous calls for service. In Richmond, we had 73 total incidents, 5 medicals, 7 suspicious activities, 27 traffic stops, and with 7 citations, and then 34 miscellaneous calls for service. Overall, our numbers are down, and that just has to do with everything going on right now, the stay-at-home orders, all that going on. So they are going to be, and it's fully expected for the time being, that the numbers are down a little bit. And that probably made it hard for people on the phone to hear with the phone ringing, but but it's fully expected. We're still out there. We're still patrolling.
Okay.
One of the big things is make sure you're locking your car doors at night. We just had a case again overnight that we're currently investigating. The people that want to go out and do the thefts and that kind of stuff like it when there's not people around. Everybody's in their house, so they feel safer to go out, check your doors, pull your doors, grab your credit cards, grab your cash or anything else that they may see as valuable in your vehicle. So just take that extra step, take the 2 seconds, lock your door, just to protect yourself a little bit more. Any questions on that from anybody? All right, so one other thing is earlier in this year we applied for a grant through the Stearns Electric Roundup Association, or the Stearns Electric Roundup. We were awarded $500 towards the equipping of the side-by-side that I talked about at the last meeting. So that'll kind of get us in a step in the right direction. Also, I included in the packets the diversion program. All the cases, and there's several different qualifying offenses that can get an individual into the diversion program. What it is first-time offenders or people with a relatively clean record made a bad decision have the right to take the steps, whether it be restitution, classes, that kind of stuff, to basically get that offense taken off the record. The majority of them are minor offenses that just give somebody a second chance. So we had 17 juveniles that qualified and 1 adult, and out of those only 1 juvenile didn't finish the program. So overall I think it helped out a large number of the people. And then the rest is just kind of comparing us to the rest of the departments in Stearns County, and I think we kind of fit right where we should in those. So if anybody has questions on those, that it's probably not easy to do over the phone, but if anybody wants to sit down with me at any point in time, I can kind of explain it more if you want me to.
All right.
And then just a couple of other things going on. We had an Easter Bunny escort through town on Saturday. Got a lot of positive feedback from that. It's just really difficult for the kids right now.
Motion passes. General questions and comments from City Council. Shannon.
Nothing, but going back to the, open farmers market, they could do something like farmers market around the block, and then everyone can walk around the block and do something like that. Or
I will suggest that.
I don't know. It just was coming to me, and then I was like, okay, all right. Anyways, that's it. Yes, nothing. I'm good.
A good idea. How about Gary?
Nothing.
Doug?
Nothing.
I have nothing. Number 13, next scheduled City Council meeting, April 28th, 2020. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Shannon makes a motion to adjourn. How about a second?
I'll second that.
Gary seconds it. Shannon?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Doug? And I'm a yes.
I also
Motion carries.
I want you all to know that I'm going to look into Zoom as an option since he keeps extending. I thought it was going to be just 1 or 2 meetings, but perhaps we should try to be a little more electronic.
Yeah. That's okay. Zoom can work.
All right, thank you guys. Thanks
Thank you.
everybody.